a 360-degree walking tour of Disney's California Adventure in Anaheim, California. I'm Chris. This is Yellow Productions. I do travel guides that are fun, informative, and entertaining. In this video, I'm going to be walking you around the Disney California Adventure theme park, and I'm shooting this on a GoPro Fusion 360 camera. So this is a 360-degree video. You can spin the video around in every direction, so you can look to the left, you can look to the right, you can up and down, left. You don't just have to look at me, so don't look at me the whole time. Take a look at the areas that I tell you to look at. This is part of my series. Hey, and some people saw my YouTube videos. Right on. Very cool. So this is part of my series on Disneyland. I've got 360 walks all through Disneyland theme park and downtown Disney, and I've got some 2D videos talking about tips, best places to eat. You can find links in the description to those playlists for some more of those videos. So we just walked through Buena Vista Street, which is California Adventure's version of Main Street. That's where a lot of the main gift shops are and restaurants. And this little circle right here, this is kind of their equivalent of Disneyland's main circle. One of the best restaurants here is in the tower just up ahead. It's the Carthay Circle restaurant. That's California Adventure's high-end dining restaurant. There's a little show there right now. California Adventure, compared to Disneyland, has a lot more pop-up shows, and so California Adventure is really themed after Hollywood. And so I turned left at that main square, and we're walking down, I'm going to call it Hollywoodland. I think it's called their back lot, something like that. But this part of California Adventure is themed after Hollywood. It's supposed to look like Hollywood Boulevard. And let me tell you, if you've ever been to Hollywood Boulevard, well, Disney's version of Hollywood Boulevard is much nicer than the real thing. The gift shops are nicer, the restaurants are nicer, and there's a lot less bums, frankly. So I'm shooting this in October, and California Adventure is Halloween themed in October. In the daytime, it kind of plays this old, 1940s jazz type music, but if you come at night during October, then the music becomes spooky. They make the whole park spooky. On my left is Award Wieners. Hey, how's it going? We're taking a selfie, and you'll be on this 360 video that I'm doing here. Yeah, good deal. Nice to meet you. Oh, right on. Thanks, I appreciate it. You guys from Australia, or where are you from? Australia. Right on. Very cool. What part? Sydney. Right on. Awesome. Have a great time in Disneyland. Thank you. So some fans from Sydney. That's very awesome. I love meeting people as I do these videos. So turning left in here, this is not now Hollywood Boulevard. This is now Hollywood Studios. And, the great thing about being at Disneyland, everybody likes to be in these videos. I passed by a restaurant that was called Award Wieners. Award Wieners, just a great name, right? And it's like hot dogs that's like themed for like the Oscars, the Academy Awards, right? So they've got like awards. On my left, there's this movie theater that they preview upcoming Disney movies. Right now, they're previewing Disney, The Nutcracker, and The Four Realms. But a lot of Disney movies have maybe like 15-minute previews there in advance of them being out in the theaters, which is kind of neat. On my right is the Disney Performing Arts stage. They have a lot of like high school performances, high school bands that perform there. On my left is Monsters, Inc. ride, Mike and Sulley to the rescue. This is one of those like almost forgotten rides, short lines. You go through a whole Monsters, Inc. type universe. It's fairly slow. I am a YouTuber. Yeah. You did. Very cool. Which video did you watch? Yeah, very cool. Yeah, that's awesome. Well, thank you very much. I'm doing a video right now, so if you look in a couple weeks, you'll find yourself on this one. Yeah, you'll be on it, right? This is a 360-degree video, so you can spin it all around. All right. Wait. Yeah. My name's Chris, and my channel's called Yellow Productions. Yeah. Yeah. All right, they're calling you. See you guys. It's always fun to find the small fans, too. So hopefully, if you are one of those 3 little kids, hopefully you'll leave a comment when you find this video. All right, so leaving Hollywood Studios, now if you look away from me is the Guardians of the Galaxy ride. This used to be the Hollywood Tower Hotel. This is like the tallest thing at Disneyland, and it's basically like a scary elevator ride that takes you up and down. Do not take that ride immediately after lunch. You will want to wait a little bit before you ride that ride, because otherwise you might leave your lunch in the ride. But my favorite thing to do at California Adventure is to see the Frozen show. On my left, it's the Hyperion, and this Frozen show, it is pretty amazing. It's a really Hollywood-style production. They only do like 3 or 4 showings a day. Make sure you get there 30, 45 minutes before the showing if you actually want to see it. And I'm not going to walk all the way to that Guardians of the Galaxy ride because it used to go through to Bugs Land, but they're doing construction, and so I would end up in a dead end. So let's take a turn and go back down Hollywood Boulevard to then head over to more of California Adventure. Oh, there's also a great place to take pictures in front of the Hyperion Theater. It's like this optical illusion of Hollywood Boulevard. It makes it look like it keeps on going. And they've got these neat little red trams that run up and down Hollywood Boulevard. A little bit of LA history. LA history in Los Angeles actually used to have one of the world's largest streetcar networks. It was called the Red Cars, and they looked kind of like this, and they ran on the streets in Los Angeles. But unfortunately, they've torn all those up. And it's funny, if you saw my Disneyland 360-degree walking tour, you'll see there's a part where I'm like walking behind a band and they just like duck out into a corner. Well, the way that show earlier gets away and hides is they just ride the trolley away. So that's a good way for Mickey to get out of the center of the park and not be followed by a gazillion people. And obviously one of those red cars is going to be following me now because I just heard the bell. When I did my previous video in Disneyland, I nearly got run over by a horse because they have horse carts that take you through Disneyland. And I was paying much more attention to what I was saying in the camera than I was actually where I was walking. So there's some gift shops in here. There's also Disney Junior Dance Party, which is definitely something more for the young kids in your group that are coming. Now, we'll be going by that Carthay Circle restaurant again that has, it's up or on my left, looking away from me. And it's got some indoor seating, it's got some outdoor seating on the terrace, and Carthay Circle also offers the dining packages here. So at Disneyland, their nighttime show is Fantasmic. Here, their nighttime show is called World of Color. Right now, they're doing a parade instead of World of Color because the World of Color lake show isn't quite working at the moment. I think they're doing some refurbishment on it. But if you want to do one of the dining packages, I think Carthay Circle is a great place to do it. The food's pretty good, though it is not cheap. I will warn you about that. And if you want to do the dining package, why do you want to do the dining package? So you get reserved seating to some of these shows, and you don't have to wait, 3 hours to get a good spot for the World of Color showing. Those dining packages, you can reserve them on Disneyland's website, and then you just have a designated time, and you'll have a designated viewing area either for the parade or the World of Color. Now, for some reason, you don't have the Disneyland app to see the wait times. If you want to see what the ride wait times look like, there's this little information booth right here, and they'll give you wait times for all of the rides. My favorite ride at California Adventure is Radiator Springs Racers. Radiator Springs Racers is in Cars Land. It is one of their newer rides. It is definitely the most popular. So if you're coming here, you'll want to pull a fast pass for Radiator Springs Racers, like first thing when you come in. Otherwise, the wait's going to be really long. Right now, it is 1 o'clock on a Friday, and the wait is 90 minutes. If you come on weekends, that wait can be 2.5 hours. Pretty crazy. So, owing to the California theme of California Adventure, on my right, there's grapevines, kind of like a vineyard that's up there. On my left, they're redoing some stuff that used to be a Bugs Land, and they're now building like an Iron Man themed thing for Stark Industries. On my right, is the Golden Vine Winery. Kind of like an Italian restaurant that's in there. They do wine and things like that. They also do dining packages right now for the parade, which is kind of neat because then you actually get like a reserved table to sit at and watch the parade as it goes by. So the newest land at California Adventure, well, the newest land is Pixar Pier, which we'll get to. They refurbished that, but that pier's been there for a long time. The newest actual land is Cars Land, and we're walking into it now, themed after the Cars movie. I will say, before they built Cars Land, California Adventure was really, really pretty lame, frankly. And California Adventure really had its resurgence once they built Cars Land because they did a really good job of this theming, really making you feel like you are in Radiator Springs from the movies. These things, like on my right, this Taste Inn, they look like things that come out of the desert. This feels like if you're driving from Los Angeles to Las Vegas, you'll encounter a lot of small towns that actually do have a feel like this, like old and abandoned, but clearly get enough business to just stay open, but it's all like drive-by traffic. One of the things that's kind of neat that they do here is every night at sunset, they have like a sunset celebration. So if you find out what the sunset time is, you can come in their central square here in Cars Land, and they do like a little 3-minute sunset dance. Now, one of my favorite restaurants for the themes is on my left. It's the Cozy Cone Motel, and I just like this one because they've got these like cones that each one's a different restaurant, like churros and mac and cheese. It's pretty unique. Another decent eating option at California Adventure is on my right. It is called Flo's Cafe. Flo's Cafe is sort of a 1950s themed gas station turned restaurant. And as you can see on my right, there's all of these like gas pumps that are in front. They've got things like the cheeseburger, fried chicken, chicken pot pie. It's all pretty good. The fried chicken here is pretty much the same fried chicken that you would get if you were at the Plaza Inn over in the regular Disneyland. And as we come this way, we've got this Casa della Tires that has this big tire sculpture. The Lube-O-Rama. I mean, the theming and how they've named everything here, it really feels like an actual town and not a theme park. Well, maybe all the people make it feel a little bit like a theme park. And coming up right here, this is the entrance, the gateway to Ornament Valley, the entrance to Radiator Springs Racers, which we'll walk by in a different direction, and I'm not going to stand in line for 90 minutes on a video. You would likely leave this video to go do something else, like your laundry, if I was waiting in line for 90 minutes. Though I probably could fill up 90 minutes of talking. People have said, Chris, how do you talk for so long? And I'll just say it's years of practice being able to talk too long. But I come to Disneyland quite a bit, and so it's not that hard for me to talk about Disneyland because OC Girl, my wife and I, and Topher, practically live here at Disneyland, being annual pass holders to Disneyland. So this part right here on my right is the restaurant I was pointing earlier. That was the one that was the Flo's Cafe. That was themed like a gas station. And then if you look to my left, though, seriously, look to my left, this is the theming of Radiator Springs Racers. It really feels like a canyon in Arizona. You would not know that you are in the middle of Anaheim in a theme park. This looks really pretty real. And here's two cars that are going to be coming by. It's pretty fun. They go pretty fast. They have neat little car sounds as well. So if you're coming to California Adventure, definitely make sure that you check out the Radiator Springs Racers. They have 3 lines. They have the standby line, they have the fast pass line, and they have the single rider line. You might find the single rider line might be a faster way to get on the ride. They won't guarantee that you're going to sit next to the people that you're riding with, but if the wait's 2.5 hours, an hour in single rider might be better, and you'll all get on the ride pretty close to each other, and then just get off pretty close to each other too. All right, so we're coming up on California Adventure's main food court. And so if you're looking for a lot of cheap things to eat, and you're with a group, and you can't decide on one thing, well, you can come here because there's like a Chinese restaurant, there's a Mexican restaurant, there's a place for sandwiches, there's a place for soup. One thing that California Adventure does that Disneyland doesn't is they serve beer in the park. So there's a Karl Strauss brewery where you can get beer, you can get margaritas. This food court is called Pacific Wharf, and the Pacific Wharf Cafe, if you're looking for something that's also particularly Californian, check that out because that's run by the Boudin Sourdough French Bread Company, which is a famous institution from San Francisco. If you like sourdough bread, they make very delicious sourdough bread. And they also have a bakery tour that you can go in, and you can see what the bakery looks like and how they bake the bread. Of course, it's funny, they also have tables in here, but if you look to my left, you can see here's a baker making some Mickey-shaped breads, putting on the noses, which is pretty fun. You can see here's the balls of dough, getting those ready. They come out of this little machine and just runs through there. It's a whole bread baking factory. And they talk about the mother dough, and you can also get samples of the sourdough. That'd be great. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. So you can get a little sample of sourdough bread right there. That'll help tide you till later. I'll let you chew this. I'll be right back. Hello. Thank you. The other great place to come in is the Gira chocolate store because you can get free samples of chocolate. Everybody who comes in gets a free sample. You don't need to buy anything. Today, the sample was Gira milk chocolate pumpkin spice caramel. Ooh. I'll save that for later after lunch. After I do these videos, where am I going to eat? I am going to eat at the Earl of Sandwich, my favorite place to eat in the whole Disneyland park. It just reopened in downtown Disney. I'm pretty excited about that. And believe me, after doing a few, 20 or 30-minute videos, my tummy is quite hungry. An Earl of Sandwich, really good sandwiches, but you do have to get outside of the park to check it out. My favorite thing to eat in California Adventure, if it's quick food, is at the Corndog Castle. They make really good corn dogs, and the Corndog Castle will kind of be coming up in front of the big lake here that we'll get to shortly. Great picture spot on my right. There's this little thing that's like a fish net. You can stand in there, and somebody can stand across the river. That makes for a great picture. This theming either is out of San Francisco or out of something from like Monterey, California, which is a town kind of south on the coast from San Francisco. They have like an old cannery row, and so that's what this is reminiscent of. Ooh, the Army Men show is just going by. They got these little green Army Men right here. I would not want to be wearing their outfits today, frankly. It's about 80 degrees Fahrenheit, which is warm. So you can imagine this is warmer.
What it takes to be one of us. This is where you want to be, right here. Gather on up, gather on up. We are looking for a few toys for Anthony's Toy Box. So gather on around if you think you've got the right. So here you guys on the side, come on in a little bit further here. Come on a little bit. There you go, there you go. Good deal, good deal. Come on a little further. Keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going.
All right, so after that Army Men, the final spot, and I'll head down here because this is a great picture place. Depending upon the lighting, It's not really good right now, but this is the center of the Pixar Pier area. And in the Pixar Pier area, looking away from me, there's the big Ferris wheel. There's the Incredicoaster, which is a roller coaster that does make a loop. There's Toy Story Midway Mania. That's one of my favorite rides here. It's a great kind of shooting game, so definitely make sure you check out Toy Story Midway Mania. There's a swing set. There's a little roller coaster over there, and then behind me is the Little Mermaid ride. And on this lake, if you also look out away from me, you can see all of the pipes and the plumbing that make up the World of Color ride that they're currently doing some work on to get that ready for the next time they show it. And this is just a neat place to be in California Adventure. One of the things I like about the park, and probably my second favorite part of it, because my favorite's Radiator Springs Racers, is definitely this part. Well, hey, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you'd like to see more 360-degree videos about Disneyland or Downtown Disney, you'll find links in the description below to my playlist, or you can find my tips videos about tips for visiting Disneyland or California Adventure. There was one final part that's kind of like a grizzly thing that has like a water ride and tubing and soaring over America, California that I didn't make it to, but it'll take me too long to make that back, and I'm trying to end this at just about 20 minutes. All right, I won't say goodbye because I'll see you in the next video.